Nike Air Structure Triax is back. On today's episode, we're talking about the Nike Air Structure Triax, originally made in 1991. For those of you who don't know, this shoe was designed for runners that overpronated. That was the reason for the shoe, and that's why it was made. But for some odd reason, it was so hard to find. After 1991, I should say. It was hard to find after 1991. And I think the reason for that is because it was designed for runners that overpronated. So it didn't, it sold its purpose, so it sold well. But in the 90s, as a shoe collector like myself who collects vintage Nikes, this shoe was impossible to find. That's why I call it the unicorn, because it got lost somewhere in the craziness of all the Air Maxes that were released, in the Air Max 1, Air Max 90, Air Max BW, and all the other runners that came out in that era, the Huarache, and so on. So it got lost. So it would sit on the shelf in between all that heat and got lost and went to outlets or whatever you want to call it, right? But in the early 90s, when you're searching for a shoe on eBay and you type in Nike Air Structure, you would find nothing. Nothing. So it was a very hard shoe to find. I have a good story about this shoe. I found it finally. I found it, I want to say in the year 1998, maybe, on the shelf at Value Village. I paid $8 for it. I think it was a size 10, maybe, so it did fit my feet, but completely not wearable. But such a dope find. Back then, eBay was hot for any kind of vintage, so I threw it up on eBay. And I bought it for $8 or $9, and I sold it for over $200 US dollars. Back then, $200 US was about 240 Canadian, so I was making some pretty good profit on it. I kind of wanted to keep that original, but I made money to buy more sneakers to add to my collection. That was the whole point of thrifting back then, was to buy and flip. That was the buy at a Value Village, flip it on eBay. That was the whole thing, to try to get more sneakers and more things to get into my collection. Now, what I can say about the 2021 version is it was made a lot better than the 2008 version. When that 2008 version came out, there was just random stores that got it. There was, up here in Canada, there's Goodfoot. Livestock, I don't think, was open yet in 2008. No, wait, sorry, it was open. It was only in Toronto and Vancouver. We didn't have one in Winnipeg yet. Used to be there, used to be in the spot where Livestock is now, in Winnipeg, called Tub, which was short form for the Urban Bakery. And for some odd reason, they got 8 pairs of these. And I remember talking to the manager at the time, or Keo, shout out to Keo, I think I maybe talked to her, and I said, you got the Air Structure? They had no idea what that shoe was, and they're like, yeah, we got Air Structure. Yeah, we do, yeah. Come on down, put aside my 9.5. I got it. Brought it home, I'm like, man, this is totally different than the one I found at Value Village a couple of years back. It's totally different. The shape, the toe box was off. The materials kind of was crappy. It didn't have that infrared tongue like the 2021 version. It didn't feel right. So I wore it a couple of years, and then I sold it to a buddy of mine for super cheap. The only reason I sold it was that I was getting rid of a few of my sneakers to save money for something that I'll show you in a video coming up. But what I can say about the 2021 version, I'm quite impressed. The material's good. The sole's good. As you can see, I've worn these already because these went straight to feet. You got the Nike Air bubble, just like you did back in the 90s. You got the color, they call it Neo Teal, and then you got the infrared on the back. I remember back in 1991, 92, I remember a lot of teachers wearing this shoe, and I thought they were super dope that they had 2 colors on them. It looks like you're wearing 2 different shoes when you're inside and outside, right? So I always thought that was pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure my teacher used to rock this hat back in the day too, so that's why I put it on, just get the match, get the colors, and it's 1991. What I'm really disappointed in on the new retro was it didn't come in the original box, like this one. Back in 1991, you would pull this shoe out of the box, and your Foot Locker / Champs employee would come out holding this box with this shoe on top, saying, "Look at that, bang." That's how it should have came. I'm kind of disappointed in that they didn't put the original box, because you know how they have the original box. They did it for the Air Max 90, so why not give us the box with the Air structure? That was the only disappointing thing I had with this shoe, was that. But all in all, they did a great job on this. The infrared on the tongue is just like the original, just gives it that pop. The Night Gear on the back, always love that right on the back of that shoe. Like, look at that, it's awesome. You got this, so the counterplate, the heel counterplate, very good shoe. Yeah, pretty excited about this shoe. That it came back, and it was very easy to get, which is how Foot Locker got it beyond me. Because back in 2008, there was 8 pairs at a local sneaker shop, just randomly. No Foot Locker, no Champs, no Athletes World, no Athletes Wear got this shoe. And then all of a sudden, Foot Locker's got a whole bunch of pairs this year, 2021. And like I said, all you young kids, hype beasts, have no idea what this shoe is, so easy to get. Easy to get. So yeah, pretty damn hyped on this shoe. So if anyone's looking for a dope shoe, this is available at Foot Locker Canada. It's not online just yet. The kids version and a black and white version that I'm not a fan of is on, but you're looking at $160 Canadian for this. I'm pretty excited, and they did a very good job on this. Everything is on point to that original. I got no complaints. It's got nice suede. Air Max is good. The infrared is good. I got absolutely nothing to complain about this shoe. So that's my video today on the AIR STRUCTURE TRIAX, originally made in 1991. And one of my favorite shoes. I have a lot of favorite shoes, but this one was always one of those gems that was, it's just because of I think it was just because of the hunt for this one that made it so special, that it was so hard to find back in the day as a vintage sneaker collector. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys give me a like. Make sure you give me some thumbs up. Give me some comments. I like to hear you guys' comments. I'll reply to your comments. Give me some comments. I'm always up for it. Let me know what you think. And again, good talk about the AIR STRUCTURE 1991.